Good evening. We are live on NTV channel on the ILFL Soccer Night Show with me, David Joseph, and I am here with everyone that you've been used to over the last few weeks to discuss the highlights of what culminates the ILFL's season. We had our League Cup final played yesterday at Milan Stadium. Rashid Ali, you were there?
Yes.
Shakil Mir, you were there?
Yes.
This guy was there as well. He's our guest from Bromley who's going to come in and discuss all things that happened for that 90 minutes. Normally this might be the time where I would say to you, let's watch the highlights. But no, you know what we're going to do? We're going to speak about the highlights before we turn to our guests. And before I do that, Rash, I'm going to turn to you with the final. And I'm going to be critical. Beaumont and Bromley, well done to you guys for making the final. Excellent teams, well established, got to a final at Milan Stadium, and then both teams walked out and were scared. Did I get that wrong?
I won't say scared. I think you have to look behind the scene. There's been a lot of changes. Two new managers, young managers. You got Hamid for Bromley, you got Arif, who's managing Beaumont for the first season. Hamid only managed Bromley for the last 2 seasons now. You got two teams with a lot of history, a lot, they've been established for 25 years, successful in a lot of competitions. So it's big, boots to fill in terms of management-wise. I think they were cautious, I would say. The first 20 minutes of the game was a bit cautious. First final for both managers, I don't think they wanted to concede. I think they were taking a safe approach initially. So after 25 minutes, it kicked off. I know the hype was there. It's the established teams, competing against each other for so many years. But I think because of new management, I think that's why we didn't get the game with it. But after 20 minutes, 25 minutes, once the goal went in,
it woke up.
It woke up, and it was the final we expected, a bit more intense.
Shakil. I used the word scared. My colleague here used the word cautious. What word would you use?
Nervous. They were nervous. You could see the way they were playing football. They were cancelling each other out the first 15, 20 minutes. It was sort of a boring start. But when the goal first went in, I think the nerves sort of settled in, and Beaumont was just playing possession football. They weren't really there wasn't a threat until the last 5 minutes in the first half. Last 10 minutes, but I think in the beginning it was nerves. I think that really kicked in.
Is that the way to play a cup final? And I'm just asking a question.
Well, it is a big occasion. Sometimes the occasion can get onto a few people, and Milan Stadium, there was a lot of people. The sun was out, so you expect that little nerve, and it's a good nerve. It's not a negative thing, and it was a good day out.
It was a lovely day. Experienced players on the pitch. Should that experience have counted?
I think that did help, because if you look at, in particular, the Bromley side, likes of Amin, Oli, Abs, Dipon, they've been playing for the club for last 20 years plus, from as far as I remember. So these are senior, they're legends in their own right within the club itself and within footballing in East London. They're well-known figures, well-known names. So I think they obviously helped and got new players with more energy and versatility. So hence, I think they probably had the edge over Beaumont, because Beaumont, again, you got a lot of new players. Arif's got new style of play, new players involved, and I think a lot of them were playing final for the first time as well. So I think, for me, at the end of the day, I think the worthy champions, Bromley, did obviously clinch the title itself.
Okay, I've been convinced. I'm happier. It was a better game than I thought it was, and probably the best game that we could have had yesterday, given the circumstances. And a key figure in Bromley's victory, once again making notable saves and spreading his experience right across the field. Have I done enough to big you up there, Amin?
Just a bit.
Just a bit. Here he is, the legendary Bromley goalkeeper himself. Amin, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Listen, it's not the first time you've played in big games, key games. It's not the first time you played against Beaumont. Was this one different?
This one was different, as Rashid says, two young managers, but I think this was the 5th time that we've met each other in a final, in various competitions. I think it wasn't being scared, it was giving each other respect. Once we got in, after 15, 20 minutes, the game kicked off. I think in the beginning, it was respect. Prior to this final, we both won 2 each in a final against each other. So now we're winning. 3-2.
That's the bragging rights now. So the first goal, what did the first goal do for the team? I mean, I know some people say, yeah, it settles you, it calms you, but did you then feel, do you know what, we can up a gear here now, you know, and play better football? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was definitely, it calmed the nerves down. But obviously, I'm a goalkeeper, I care about my defence. I just wanted to tell them, stay calm, carry on as normal, don't get too ahead. Because if we concede, the games open up again. I mean, towards the end of first half, they were putting immense pressure. And that was a key moment. If they did score, we go to the break 1-0. Second half is a complete different game. Fortunately, we kept it 1-0. Second half, they were coming at us and we broke through, and it was an open game. We got our goals. Fortunately, we got a penalty, which calmed the nerve even more. But then he made it more interesting by us conceding another goal.
You did, and you conceded that goal quite soon after you got the second one.
Well,
is that you guys switching off just a
yeah,
little bit there?
well, you're the most vulnerable when you score a goal. The team needs, that's why after when we scored the first goal, I was really giving instructions to my defence and getting the wingers back, you know, making sure the midfield help out where it needs. Maybe after the second goal we got too ahead of ourselves, we got cocky and we got punished. So, yeah.
Let me ask something different. Let me switch just away from the cup, just a little bit. I've always said, and people have always heard me say here, inside and outside collectively, Bromley are a good cup side. They know how to. They know how to get to cup finals. They know how to win knockout ties and everything. What happened to the league then? Why did we see? I mean, for spells in that game, I saw Bromley play football where I thought, you know what, no one can touch that. Why have you not been able to have that consistently throughout your league programme?
That's been our problem from the beginning. Consistency.
Every season, that is, though, it seems.
Unfortunately, it is. Lack of player availability. But for the cup game, everyone comes alive. And yes, it's sad to say, but we are a cup team. Put us against any team, we'll give them a match.
In a cup, yeah, there's no two ways about that. Anyone comes up against Bromley in a knockout game, and my money always tends to be on Bromley. But like you spoke about earlier, Rashan, we've got players in both teams, but we're talking about Bromley here. We've got players who have been playing there 15, 20 years. Yeah. There comes a time, there's a particular manager who I won't name, but you all know who we're talking about, in the Premier League, who's been around for almost the same length of time, gets his team so far, but can't take him any further. So it's almost like a similar scenario here. So are we talking about players who just can't take the team?
This season, I think what I've seen with Bromley is, beginning of the season, I think what I touched on is player availability. It did change after week 6, 7. They did get more players and new recruits, and I think that shown in the results because they start picking up points, you know, and they did pick, you know, go up the ladder in terms of table-wise. And in that time as well, the cup competition kicked in, so obviously the players were coming in. So the second half of the season, they had a better season. I think initially the start was poor, and once you're in the Premiership, once you have 2 or 3 losses, or if you're maximising the points, it's an uphill struggle. Because the number of teams you got, like Stepney, Bowman, Reach Out, London Tigers, it's hard to get those points back. So league is very, very tough. You have to be consistent from day 1 rather than week 7. And I think that's where they went wrong. Yeah, but you know, that could be something, a learning curve as a new manager. Hopefully he'll get that right for next season, start from week 1 rather than week 7, and then they can go challenge for the title. Because with the history and the talent they have, they should be challenging at least for the championship or the league.
We're talking about new managers involved in both clubs. And I mean, I'll start with Bromley and then we'll move on to Beaumont. Hamid played for you guys for a while. He's now taken up the management role. It's not an easy thing to do. He has his way, he has his style, and he certainly has the respect of you guys for what he's trying to do. He's taking the club, he may be taking the team in a different direction. Are you positive for the future?
Absolutely. I mean, Hamid, the difference is he's one of us, and every single player wants to play for him. I mean, previous managers, who knows what happened. Maybe some players disagreed with certain things, but with Hamid, you just accept what he says, you just give 100% for him. He's such a nice guy, and you want to give your best. Yes, the thing we could improve with is, beginning of the season, maybe we have a squad a bigger squad, so we don't struggle in the beginning. As Rashid said, we struggled in the beginning of the season and developed after week 7, week 8, and we became a stronger team. So maybe that's what we can work with more recruits.
Is that what we're seeing with Arif? I mean, Arif's been around a long time as well, but still a relatively young manager for Beaumont.
The key thing with both the managers, they're both in-house. I think that helps because they've been part of the club for so long, everyone knows them, and because they know them, they know they can communicate, they have a rapport with both of them, both Arif and Hamid. And with Hamid, obviously he's got his brothers, he's been there from day one. Similar with Arif, he's been there from day one. That helps. And the key thing is, it's not easy managing these big clubs. When you've got players like Oli and Hamid, these established legends in their own club. So it is a hard task. People don't realize how hard it is to manage, because you have to drop the players, you have to get new players in, you have to play different formation. So credit to both Hamid and Arif, because managing big clubs is no mean an easy task. It's a massive task, and credit to both of them, and they do fabulously. Obviously, Hamid win the cup, with Arif obviously going to the final, and he's got possibility of the league itself. So credit to both Arif and Hamid. But for people out there and players, it's a very, very hard job, because I've done it myself. It's not easy. When you got big stars, and B, that consistency week in, week out, getting players, recruitment, dealing with issues, etc. It's a hard job.
You have to take some success from the cup. I mean, no matter what happens in the league, you've won a cup, and a trophy is a trophy at the end of the day. So you've done that. So is it too soon to say, well, one trophy is not enough next season, and you want maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe the league?
I mean, you always want to better yourself. With cup competitions, you need 15, 16 players. You'll be okay. I think you'll be okay. But for the league, you need a squad. And you can see the difference between Beaumont and Bromley. Beaumont have got a good squad this year. We don't. We have a good starting team. But if players are not available week in, week out, you struggle.
I feel if you look at from last season and to this season, it's a huge difference. Last season they didn't do that well in the league, nor did they do well in the cup. But then this year they've won 1 cup, and that's a progress, and in my opinion, for Bromley. And then the next step is for the next season is, can you win 2 more cups better than what you did this year? I think that's what you would probably want to look at.
Being in and around the whole Bromley setup, can you feel there's a whole there is an enthusiastic vibe now around Bromley by Bow as a football club?
Oh yeah, of course. We've got brand new pitches coming up soon, which is hopefully going to help even more to get more youngsters involved in the team, and it's a huge step from last season, because last season we all had youngsters and we mixed and matched a bit. But yeah, I think the future's bright for Bromley. And there's a lot of positive to come through.
There was a good turnout yesterday in fan-wise.
There was indeed. It was good to hear the supporters. I have to say, I have to say that the supporters were great. They made a lot of noise. They made a huge difference. And well done to you guys. If it was you watching us here now and you were there yesterday, well done to you, because that's what makes the football, and that's what lifted these guys to achieving what they did yesterday. The ILFL League Cup, which is missing from our lineup because so many people seem to be enjoying it for a few days more, but that's all right. It'll be back here on stage next week. We are coming close to the end of the first segment on the show. We've got a few more things that we're going to talk about. Amin's still going to be here. These two are still going to be here. I certainly will be to talk about all things ILFL in the second part of the show. So until then, we'll take a short break. See you on the other side.